Recently, when I was doing a class, two questions came up repeatedly. One is that people were feeling pain doing their Wuji stance, and the other question was that people started to yawn, people started to get tired. And the reason this is happening is we'll go with the pain first of all. If you've been tense all day and then you're doing a technique like Wuji that helps you actually relax and sink the shoulders, everything that's been compressed is going to become stretched, and everything that has been stretched is going to become compressed. Even though this is now you standing in a more comfortable, more aligned manner with better posture and your muscles are in a better position, because it's not how you're used to standing, it's going to feel awkward, and most of the time it causes some sort of pain. This is where people fall down when it comes to Qigong. Any internal practice really, they feel a bit of pain, so then they go, oh, this can't be right, so I'm not going to do it anymore. Even though their day-to-day life is full of pain, their tension in their neck and shoulders causes them headaches, causes them pain. Sometimes you have to go through a little pain to get more relief. So if I'm usually here and then I do something relaxing, relax my shoulders. So the easiest way to do it, you can test this out now for yourself, is the I don't know shrug. If I asked you a question you didn't know the answer to, you wouldn't go, I don't know. You go, don't know. And that gives a wee bounce to the shoulders. When you do that, try it now. Whenever you do it, it relaxes the shoulders and gives you a bit of freedom in there. So what's happening whenever you're in your Qigong class, you're holding this tension all day, every day, and then this is your opportunity. It's probably one of the first times you've taken time out to actually allow yourself to switch off and relax. Because you're doing that, like I said, the things like if you're holding your shoulders, you're decompressing, but that does compress what was stretched. So it takes a bit of time, but over time you'll notice actually the more I do this, the more my body starts to regulate from it, and the better I actually feel in my day-to-day life. So a little bit of pain isn't bad, as long as it's not sharp or stabbing, but a little bit of, usually it's pain like the lactic acid pain, build-up pain, just soreness. So if it's comfortably uncomfortable, that would be the best way to describe it, then it's probably fine. If it keeps going way after the class, then you probably need to go to a kinesiologist or a doctor or something and just get checked out. But usually if it's in class, especially if you're holding postures, you're stretched, like normally your shoulders are rolled, so you actually are opening them up, that's going to be normal, that they're going to feel different than your day to day, and usually it's a bit sore because you're stretching and then the muscles get fatigued. Then we move on to, why am I yawning so much? Why am I tired doing this? The simple answer is you are finally relaxed. So if you've been running around in fight or flight, your nervous system's going through the roof, you're constantly on edge, you're holding tension in the body, you just get used to working at that high level of cortisol, that high level of adrenaline. So when you do your Qigong and you finally settle, like in your Wuji stance, you finally settle and relax, that can be probably the first opportunity that day or that week or even month where your body's had the opportunity to relax. And once you actually relax and get out of the chattering monkeys in the head about everything that you're stressing about, once you finally relax, your body can go, right, we're finally relaxed, we are knackered here, we need to go to sleep. You're actually exhausted. So I was talking about this in the class, that some people are proud of the fact that as soon as their head hits the pillow, they just are wiped out straight to sleep. And I always ask them, when you wake up in the morning, do you feel refreshed and revitalized, or do you feel tired still? And usually they'll say, oh, I still feel a bit tired. And the reason for that is exhausted. You're just conking out. You're not going to sleep. You're not going through the layers of sleep. You're just wiped out. So it's almost like going to sleep after a night of drinking or taking drugs. You're not getting the same recovery that you get from going into a relaxed sleep. So this is why a nighttime routine is really beneficial to people. So what you want to be thinking about when you're doing the Qigong practice, if you are getting tired, that's a good sign. You're actually allowing your body to relax. And when your body relaxes, if it's tired, it's going to want to go to sleep. This is why there's different versions of meditating: standing, seated, lying. And if you fall asleep, that's fine. You're actually drifting off into sleep. You're not conking out or crashing out. So the next time you're doing your Qigong practice, even if it's following just one of my videos, just allow yourself to go with that flow of that. If you're in a bit of pain, remind yourself that I'm in a bit of pain because my body's starting to finally relax. My joints are opening up where they've been stiff the whole time. That's fine. If you start to feel like you are getting so relaxed you want to go to sleep, maybe take a wee nap. But start to think about your nighttime routine. Maybe it's not optimal for a good night's sleep. If you want to get into your own Qigong practice, then this video is a great place to start.